What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Twin Flame Racing Reviews. We just got wrapped up with the Thursday practice session, aka day 3 of Indy 500 in 2026, which means tomorrow is day 4 and it is a Friday, which means we are heading into 2026. Fast Friday tomorrow. The boost will be on and the boost will be going, and cars will be going real fast, real left tomorrow. I'm really excited, and today was kind of a preview of what to expect tomorrow just at slower speeds. Today, we saw cars going from focusing on a pack running tomorrow to really getting their qualifying trim. I would say 90% of the day was spent running by yourself, getting ready for qualifying. We're not surprised. We heard Connor Daly on David Land, I believe, YouTube channel, Marshall Pruitt. I saw it somewhere. I should probably know the channel. Say tomorrow it's all about qualifying, and that means Friday's about qualifying too. With the boost, you want to know where you're at. So the teams are in qualifying mode, which makes sense because this weekend the 33 teams are going to be taking part in qualifying at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So it makes sense for them to shift their focus to qualifying, and then Monday we start thinking about the race again. So tomorrow we'll have an idea of just how fast the pole is going to be and who is going to be taking that pole position run. Before I can do that, I got to tell you guys about one sponsor and one partnership. The partnership is with TB Racing. If you notice the thumbnail is getting incredibly better on this channel, it's because TB Racing is making them. Check him out on Instagram. You do not want to miss him. He's an up-and-coming Instagram or some type of coverage in motorsport. You want to go check him out. And the sponsor, of course, is the traditional Keepsakers. Go to keepsakers.com to get your IndyCar merch so you can have sweet merch at the 500 in 2026. Now, that being said, let's break down today's results. Paddle Ward was first for McLaren with a 227.3, so a little down from Daly's 228 and change yesterday. But Award, obviously it's a toe lap, but not as fast. But I think Award, as we mentioned yesterday, Award has a good car. You cannot go that fast and not have a good car. You still, even though you're getting a toe, you still got to be flat out, and you still got to put the lap together, and Apato did that. Elio Castroneves was a 226.977. I think Elio has a really good race car. I'm a little iffy on Elio's qualifying car, but I think Elio has a really, really good race car, and particularly, I think Meyer Shank is really solid, because Marcus Armstrong was third, and Felix Rosenqvist was fourth. Armstrong with a 226.8, Rosenqvist with a 226.6. I think Meyer Shank, the Indy 500 champs of 2021, could be looking to get back in victory lane just 5 years after that amazing fourth win for Elio they scored in 2021. 2016 champ, 10 years ago, he won this race. Alexander Rossi in fifth today with a 226.3. And I just want to add, pretty much all these runs in the top 10 today, pretty much all of them, not all of them, were set in the morning back when we were doing a little bit of pack running, but pretty much towards the end of the day, it was all single car qualifying. As I said, teams are really focused on that qualifying trim so they can be as fast as possible to get into the Fast 15, Fast 12, and then Fast 6 come Saturday and Sunday's qualifying events. Senior Rob with Humco's Hollander is in 6th position. That is probably one of his better days at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in general. Kyle Collette with the 225.7, showing us that April speed that he had. Gets 7th. Roman Grosjean continuing to build a solid month is 8th. I think Roman could be a dark horse for a top 10 finish this year at the Indy 500 if he can keep up. I think he could be a sleeper for that Fast 15, although we'll have to see what tomorrow holds for them. Because if you remember, last year's Coins month was going pretty well, and then Fast Friday happened, and we said, oh God. And then they were 3 miles off the pace. So let's pump the brakes on Coin. Talking to myself here. Pump the brakes and see where they're at tomorrow. Scott Dixon was 9th. Ed Carpenter was 10th. A solid rebound day for Ed Carpenter after struggling the first 2 days of the month. Happy to see Ed Carpenter have a solid day. Rinus VK was 11th, and Scott McLaughlin, the highest Penske today, in 12th. Ryan Hunter-Reay believes he can win a 500. Gets it done lucky 13th today. Kyle Kirkwood, as we said, Kirkwood's pace in the no-toe speed looks incredible. Let's see what he can do tomorrow in qualifying at 14th for him today. Dennis Hauger, 15th. As I mentioned his teammate earlier, Coin is building a solid month so far, but let's see what they can do with the boost come tomorrow. Marcus Ericsson, 16th, and I honestly think Andretti is struggling a bit this month on the Will Power and Marcus Ericsson cars. We haven't seen Power Ericsson honestly be that strong this month. And I honestly look for Will Power and Marcus Ericsson to miss the Fast 15 and not finish in the top 10 in this year's Indy 500, which is crazy coming from two former champions. I think their shot this year's with Kyle Kirkwood. I don't think anybody would disagree with me with that, but I think Ericsson and Power are in for a struggle bus month, kind of a midfield car, and I expect Kirkwood to be in the hunt for the win. I just think that's where Andretti is at this year. Takuma Sato in 17th. I don't think he's very happy with his car, if I'm being honest. Normally, Takuma is very outgoing and spoken and happy. He does not, to me, appear to be that way. Let me know if you disagree with me in the comments. I think Takuma is not the happiest camper as of right now. Nolan Siegel, 18th. Kiffin Simpson in 19th. David Malukas in 20th. Interesting to see him down there, but as we said, he was in qualifying trim. Those other guys ahead of him had huge toe laps. Will Power is 21st, and Alex Palou is 22nd. I think the pole is either coming from Joseph Newgarden or Alex Palou. When you think about it, Penske, Ganassi, they're the best two teams at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Palou is definitely the number one driver in Ganassi, and I would say, even though everyone thought it was Scotty Mack at the beginning of the year, even though David Malukas is doing so well, at the end of the day, Joseph is still their guy, especially at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Joseph is the leader of Penske, Palou is the leader of Ganassi. I think those are the main two guys going for the pole and the win this year. I think it's simple as that, which means Newgarden was 23rd. And for the first time all month of May, Catherine Legge does not end the day in 33rd position. She ends it in 24th. We mentioned yesterday she was doing the double. As I said, super happy to see Catherine Legge doing the double. I think it's a great headline for the sport. Let me know in the comments down below if next week on that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday when there's no Indy 500 cars running, if you want me to do a video about Catherine Legge doing the double. I think that could be a fun video to do. I have some strong opinions. You know what? I don't even need a yes comment. I'm making that video sometime next week because I actually do have some strong opinions about it. Connor Daly ends up 25th at the Dry Rainbow. As I said, he was in full qualifying prep all day, so not very surprising to see him down there. His qualifying car, to me, does not look very good. I think what's Daly's strong suit is his race car. Daly's race car is tremendous. I expect him to qualify between 15th through 10th. I think he'll be right in there, and I think he can win from there. As always, a guy starting 15th through 10th can always win, especially if he's as good as a car as Connor Daly has. Jacob Abel, 26, continuing to put a real solid effort together with the family team. I expect Jacob to actually have a solid month and could be in the mix for a top 15 finish at the end of the day. Santino Ferrucci in 17th. Christian Lundgaard, in my personal opinion, he's not looking too good. And I think the only McLaren car that's looking any good is Pato O'Ward. I'm a little worried about the other three McLaren cars that aren't Pato O'Ward. I think it's going to be an interesting month for them. We'll have to see where they're at. Jack Harvey, definitely the weaker Dry Rainbow car compared to his teammate Connor Daly, gets 29th. He was in qualifying trim, but definitely on the weaker side compared to Connor Daly. I would expect Connor Daly to kind of destroy Jack Harvey this month in terms of qualifying and race, but Jack Harvey could still have a solid race. I could see Connor Daly in the top 5 and Jack Harvey in the top 10. I just don't think Harvey is anywhere near the pace of Connor Daly. I think that's a little bit of a skill thing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and that's not a dig on Jack Harvey. Jack Harvey is a very capable driver and a solid driver to have in a team. I just think Connor Daly is currently one of the best at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 30th is Louis Foster. Rough day for Rahal as they finished 30th, 31st, and 32nd with their full-time cars. 31st, Graham Rahal, and 32nd, Mick Schumacher. He's 32nd for back-to-back days. Graham Rahal's happy with his car, though. I'm not too worried about it. He seems pretty happy. So if you're a Graham fan, don't be too worried. And then Christian Rasmussen is 33rd. He ran qualifying this morning and tried to do some race running in the end. Didn't quite get a lap on the board. So that being said, guys, tomorrow's Fast Friday. There's likely going to be a crash tomorrow with the boost up. Thank God we've made it through the first 3 days crash free. I love that. No one's had to go to their backup car. But for being honest, with the boost up, in the next 3 days with Fast Friday and qualifying, all focus is on qualifying. The cars are as fast as they're going to get all year the next 3 days. At the hardest track in the world, you're probably going to get a crash. You're probably going to get 4 or 5 crashes if you're being honest. And they're probably going to be pretty big crashes. One car will probably catch the air, for just being honest. You'll probably see Colton Herta, Scott McLaughlin, or Kiffin Simpson type wreck in the next 3 days. It's okay. Don't worry. The safety features are great. With that being said, I'd really appreciate a subscription to my YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, not a subscription. What am I even saying? It's late. With that being said, see ya.